From the rising of the sun to its going down, the Lord's name is to be praised. Let us open our hearts to his presence and listen for his voice in the stillness of this evening hour. Our evening sacrifice, the desire of ages, chapter 16, in the temple, November 25th. Mid toil and tribulation and tumult of her war, she waits the consummation of peace forevermore, till with the vision glorious her longing eyes are blessed, and the great church victorious shall be the church at rest. This chapter is based on John 2, verse 12 to 22. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, What sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Jesus answered and said unto them, Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? But he spake of the temple of his body. John 2, verse 18 to 21. Above all other, the priests and rulers should have seen in Jesus the anointed of the Lord, for in their hands were the sacred scrolls that described his mission, and they knew that the cleansing of the temple was a manifestation of more than human power. Much as they hated Jesus, they could not free themselves from the thought that he might be a prophet sent by God to restore the sanctity of the temple. With a deference born of this fear, they went to him with the inquiry, What sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Jesus had shown them a sign in flashing light into their hearts and in doing before them the works which the Messiah was to do. He had given convincing evidence of his character. Now, when they asked for a sign, he answered them by a parable, showing that he read their malice and saw to what lengths it would lead them. Destroy this temple, he said, and in 3 days I will raise it up. In these words, his meaning was twofold. He referred not only to the destruction of the Jewish temple and worship, but to his own death, the destruction of the temple of his body. This the Jews were already plotting. As the priests and rulers returned to the temple, they had proposed to kill Jesus and thus rid themselves of the troubler. Yet, when he set before them their purpose, they did not understand him. They took his words as applying only to the temple at Jerusalem, and with indignation exclaimed, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? Now they felt that Jesus had justified their unbelief, and they were confirmed in their rejection of him. Christ did not design that his word should be understood by the unbelieving Jews, nor even by his disciples at this time. He knew that they would be misconstrued by his enemies and would be turned against him. At his trial, they would be brought as an accusation, and on Calvary, they would be flung at him as a taunt. But to explain them now would give his disciples a knowledge of his sufferings and bring upon them sorrow which as yet they were not able to bear. And an explanation would prematurely disclose to the Jews the result of their prejudice and unbelief. Already they had entered upon a path which they would steadily pursue until he should be led as a lamb to the slaughter. This passage was taken from The Desire of Ages, page 164 to 165. Pacific Press Publishing Association, copyright 2005, or Evening Sacrifice, November 25th. I encourage you to connect with God and receive strength to overcome obstacles each day. Thank you for listening. Please join us tomorrow as we offer up our evening sacrifice.